I'm balancing the battery module to give an idea for the other orientation. It's not perfect because I have to rework those wires up there to push the batteries the whole way against the cabin, but this is about what they will look like in this engine bay here. So obviously that end will be kind of as close up to the cabin as I can get it, and then I will have a little bit of extra space at the back here. And you can see I am losing some of the trunk space. I'm losing the deep space in there, but I still have about a foot on this on the passenger side here, and over 2 feet on the driver's side here. So I can still put some things in the trunk, like I could get like stop and get milk or something, but I won't be able to go on long road trips or fit camping chairs or anything in the back. These here are the 3 battery modules I will use, and this will get me up to approximately 132 volts nominal. So as you can see, I have them each one offset slightly, and that's so that there is the positive terminal and the negative terminal is under here where that yellow line is. And so I have them lined up like this so that each of the terminals right in there are more easily accessible. And so the way I will kind of keep this pack the way it's supposed to be is I have this old angle iron from some old shells. You can see I have 2 longer pieces here cut to length. But essentially what I'll do is under each of these mounting rails, I will mount it and then I fasten down through on each of those. Same thing down here, and then same thing under that one. I don't have it propped up enough to get it under, and then it will kind of run past like this, and then if I had another hand I would show you better, but this will run past, and then I will kind of cut this rectangle out here and run another one vertically so that they're all where they should be. And then this pack will mount kind of horizontally in here like this, and then down in here will be most of my high voltage stuff. So my controller will mount onto here. I'll have my contact and my switch in under there so that it's easily accessible. And then on the other end of the batteries, you can see kind of in here is all the cell tap wires, battery management, and all that will be on this end closer to the cab where you sit to drive, and this end will be the more BMS end, which that then it makes most wiring shorter because the BMS will have a lot of communications with the dashboard and the computer that's already in, as well as the charger, which will sit up there. So that'll make all those wires shorter, and then wires from the high voltage wires will be here from the batteries into the controller and contactor and shut-off switch, and then through here and just along here into the motor, which will sit right in here. And then I've started working on the battery mounts. So as you can see, I have this piece here. So the rails on the battery, these pieces right here, will rest on here, and then I will install another one on the other side here, like a mirror image of this, and it will rest on that. And then as you can see, all this complicated stuff down here. So you can see I have like a notch here, so this is secured to that, And then this here is a piece that attaches back onto here. You can see right in there. And then this angle support attaches to the back of where the gas tank is. And I've done a test where I stood here in the middle of it, and it doesn't bow, it doesn't flex at all. I mean, it has a tiny bit of movement if I do that, but that once I have everything connected, that little bit won't matter. So putting all my weight down here hasn't been an issue. I stood in this corner and kind of bounced up and down, and it was fun. So this will be how I mount the batteries. It'll be like 3 on top of each other, so kind of 3 layers of this angle iron like that, or not really angle iron, but old shelving. So that's how I'll be mounting the batteries. I lost footage of the installation of the battery modules, but I think you have a pretty good idea of how they went in by now. The string of 2 high voltage wires connecting positive on the bottom to negative on the middle, and these 2 here are connecting positive on the middle to negative on the top. And let's see if I can do this one-handed here. There we go. Now it's correct. 136 volts. So that's what the high voltage system for the motor is going to be, and that will come out. So this here is the main positive. I'll have to be very careful with that. This here is actually quite nice. You can see there's how that terminal looks. So that covers that up pretty well. I'll just make sure that actually sticks down correctly, because some of this adhesive here that keeps that where it belongs is peeling up, so I have to fix that to keep everything safe.